Hey beauties, and welcome back to I Am Beautiful Hustler TV. We are back with a new video, and I'm finally dropping the color series. So first and foremost, I'm going to be showing y'all how I created this unicorn color. And listen, y'all, I don't have to buy no hair. I'm literally using like scraps of hair left over from my clients. Only thing that I did have was, that I did purchase was, of course, my 5x5 HD lace closure for this install. And a lot of people think right now on my platforms that this is a wig, but this is literally a lace closure quick weave that I am doing today. Okay, y'all, so I'm just going to show you guys how I colored the hair. And mind y'all, the crazy part about this install is I didn't even have to color everything. I only colored the closure and this little piece of track that I'm showing y'all right now. And the rest of the hair I left at 613, and then I also had some pink tracks from a pink updo that I did a while ago, and I just used, all the hair. But all I'm doing right now is just, I split the hair into little tiny sections on a track and just applying each one of those colors. And I am using Adore Baby Blue, Adore Sweet Mint. I also use the Temptation Kiss Orchid, whatever however you say it, y'all. And I also use Pink Atomic as well as the pink for the Temptation color as well. So right now, very simple, very easy. Like I said, I just took the track, split it open, and applied the color to the little strands, and just let it sit probably about like 10-15 minutes. And I went ahead and shampooed and conditioned, and that's how it looked. And as I mentioned to y'all before, I already had some pink tracks. So that's the pink tracks that you see. That's that one piece of color of hair that I had did to go with the install. And last but not least, we're gonna just do the closure. And I'm doing the same thing to the closure that I did with that other piece of track of hair. The only difference this time is me just adding the pink into the mix when I do the color. But once I'm done with that piece, that is it. That is all I'm coloring, and we will get straight into the install. And as soon as I finish adding these last little strips of pink, I'm going to go ahead, shampoo, condition, let it dry, and we're going to move over into the installation process for this lace closure quick weave bob, period.
She was a fairy, yeah, she was a fairy. Yeah, she was a fairy. Yeah, she was a fairy with a fatty. I'm my daddy. He want grab it, he want smack it, he want have it. I'm my daddy. This shit smack it.
And boom, y'all see the material, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. So as I mentioned, this is a lace closure quick weave, so we're gonna get straight into the install by cleaning the hairline area first. Yeah, y'all see that. You gotta clean that up if you want your, install to stick and to last. So going in really quick with my Lace Matte Adhesive Extreme, I'm gonna do 3 layers, and once I get that 3rd layer on, it turns clear, I'm going to go ahead and lay down my lace closure and just making sure it sticks. I tie it down with the melt band, and of course I'm going to sew the closure down all around, and yeah, we'll get into bonding the hair in. Very quick, very simple. This process is very easy, and really the main attraction here is the style, so I can't wait to get to that part. And as I mentioned, go ahead and sew that closure down. Now, even though this is a lace closure quick weave, some people do glue the closure down on the head. But me, I like my stuff to be extra secure, baby. I don't need no issues. So I did go ahead and take some blonde thread and just sew that closure all the way around. And now that I am done doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that melt band, cut the lace, razor it off. Y'all know what I do. Tack down the rest of that lace, and we will get into adding the stocking caps and gluing the hair in. So now that I've finished adding that glue, I'm just going to take my fingertips, push that lace on in, blow dry it really quickly, and I'm going to tie it down with that melt belt once again while I glue that hair in. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, it's giving what it's supposed to. And I'm just going to kind of I could have just made my life so much easier and braided these sections, but I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I wasn't thinking. But I'm just going to clip this hair out the way, pull it to the front, and go ahead and tie my melt band down. And once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 black stocking caps on top of my new cap and just put it on my hair. Now, normally, y'all, I sew the cap down, do all that extra good stuff. But yeah, we're not doing that today, okay? We're just not in the mood for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and add both stocking caps, add some even holding spray, some spritz, take my bonding glue, and we're going to go ahead and start gluing these tracks down.
Sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say
now that it's time to start gluing that hair in, let me show y'all exactly why I did not have to sit there and color all of the hair, because it's all about the track placement of the color. Even though I did not sit there and color every single piece of hair I had, just off my placement alone, I was able to blend everything and make it look as if I did color everything. So for the first three tracks, I just did the regular blonde, and I did, bond those in single. But now, because I have, a good amount of that pink hair, I am going to double weft that pink hair track, and I'm adding it directly on top of that blonde. And once I'm done adding this pink track in, I will go back in with 2 more blonde tracks and then add another pink track on top of that. And like I mentioned, and as y'all seen in the beginning of this video, I only colored one piece of track, the actual unicorn color. So that would be the very last track that I, lay at the very top to blend in with the lace closure that I colored unicorn as well. But this is exactly how I created the color and the unicorn effect without doing all that extra work. So here's a little cheat code. Here's a little cheat code. Clock it. Y'all know what the girlies say. Clock it. So I just added that second pink track after putting my blonde. So now I'm going to go ahead and dry this a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut that cap because I need to see where I'm placing my last 2 tracks. So just real quick, we're going to cut those caps off. Be very careful. Do not cut the hair off your closure. Okay. So once I get all of that cap off around the edges and around the perimeter of my closure, I am going to place that unicorn hair that I colored right on top. And it's going to be 2 tracks on each side. I cut, I went around the whole entire perimeter, cut the hair, and then the little pieces that I had left over, I just cut it into 2, and I'm going to place 1 track on each side and then go around the closure area with that full track of that unicorn color to close my, quick weave off. And like I said, it will blend in perfectly once I lay that closure down and you guys can see the color effect. period. So let's go ahead and comb that hair down. And as you can see, the hair is hairing, the color is coloring, and let's go ahead and get into the best part about this video, the style. Now, when I originally was thinking about my install, I had another style in mind, but y'all know every time I think I want to do my hair one way, I end up doing it a whole nother style. So, but this style came out so bomb, so many compliments. They going crazy on the platforms. They absolutely love it. I love it, and I'm gonna do my big one with it. Okay, period. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that melt band because we can't do nothing else till we get that melt band out of the way. And I'm going to start by parting a side part on my closure. Now y'all know this is a 5x5, so we do have a little, you know, 5 inches wide, 5 inches deep of parting space. And I'm just gonna go as far as I can over to the left side of my head and creating a curved part. Then we're gonna go in, of course, with the wax stick, using the Beautiful Hustler hot comb and flat iron. We're gonna get this side all sleeked down like it needs to be. All right, and you want to make sure you leave enough hair to cover the track good and well. And that's why it's also important that when you are sewing anything with blonde hair, use blonde thread, because if I would have used black thread, it would have been showing. Okay, so whenever doing blonde hair, use blonde thread. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish hot combing and flat iron, you know, this side out nice and sleek, and then I'm gonna work my way to the other side and using my wax stick and pressing out the roots, getting it nice and straight on that other side as well. And then we'll start pulling the hair out for the bang and get the chopping.
Take a look inside your heart. Is there any room for me? I won't have to hold my breath till you get down on one knee, because you only want to hold me when I'm looking good enough.
So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, hot comb the rest of this hair going over, just kind of like getting a visual of how I want, you know, how much hair I want in my bang area. But I'm just gonna take that hot comb and just comb it over. And now I'm gonna, you know, take my comb and part out the section for my bang area. And I'm just gonna do like a small little semi circle or whatever, just pulling that hair to the front. Everything else I'm going to do like that comb over look. Okay, so once I get the hair that I want to the front, I'm going to hot comb it in a direction that I want it to fall, and the rest of the hair just kind of, you know, clip it out the way. But going in with the hot comb, be very careful. You do not want to hot comb your forehead and have lines going down your forehead when you take out your install. Okay, so be very careful when doing this part. But I am going to hot comb it down, and everything else is going to be hot combed as a flip over. And just gonna add a little, you know, wax stick up in there and, you know, just get that nice and sleek. But for now, going in with a fresh razor, I'm just going to razor off that bang. And it's up to you how narrow or how wide you want your bang, but I kind of like mine to meet from like temple to temple a little bit, because I know I could get creative and play with how much bang that I actually cut. And I don't want it too skinny. I want it to be as wide as my face is. And that way I could also, you know, kind of do like that finger comb bang thing where I could spread it out and I could get more of a creative look later on down the line, because I do want to do 2 looks with this same hair, even though it is a bob. Y'all know my creativity can get real creative, okay? But right now I'm just taking my flat iron and just bumping the bang. Now listen, we want to keep it very simple, subtle. Do not over curl the bang. I hate them hard granny bangs and them hard granny bobs. You just want to give it a nice little slight bump on the end. And I'm just going in with the hot comb and just combing it out a little bit more. and going back in with that razor comb and just chopping off anything, because I need to be able to see. Like, I like my bang close to my eyes, but I still want to see. So I'm gonna go back in with that razor and just gently razor off any extra hairs. And be careful, don't cut your lashes, don't cut your eyes, and you know the vibes. So once I get my bang where I want it to be, I'm gonna stop by cutting my shorter side, because this hairstyle is actually a front bang lace closure quick weave with a asymmetrical bob cut. Okay, asymmetrical bob cut. I did not do it even all around. I did it asymmetrical purposely because I wanted it to be one side shorter and one side a little bit longer. And now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting my bob. Now, at first I did it a little bit longer, and I recommend you go on longer before you just go for a big chop, because you can kind of control the length. But even at this length, I was like, nah, let's go a little shorter. So I went like another inch higher up, because like I said, I really wanted to give that asymmetrical fit. So just going in with some scissors, and I'm just chopping, y'all, chopping. Now, what y'all did not see me do on camera is I had to do like that the double mirror method. So I was able to cut the front and my sides, but then I had to get like my small mirror and stand in front of the mirror and, you know, be able to line my back up as straight as possible. And let me tell y'all now, doing bobs on yourself is hard. I don't care what nobody say. This is not a wig, so I couldn't cut it beforehand and then put it on my head. Because it's a quick weave, I had to do everything on myself. So I did my guidelines of the length that I wanted it for both sides. In the front, I got all the way to my size, and then I did a little chop in the back, but I did go and do that double mirror thing, as I mentioned, to make sure the back of my cut is clean. And even doing the back with a double mirror thing takes a lot of patience. You got to know how to hold your hand, your arm, everything is just a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So if you want to do this style, I recommend you doing it on a wig. That way you could cut your bob on a mannequin head and have a clean, perfect cut. But I got it good enough so I don't walk around looking like a crazy person, okay? So I'm just going to cut this thing up and then do that other part off camera. And then I'm going to come back on and, you know, just start to flat iron and press out my bob.
Sunrise and those brown eyes, yes, you're the one that I desire. When we wake up and then we make love, it makes me feel so nice. You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the talent all I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you?
So now that I am done with that, I'm just taking a little bit of the wax stick and just controlling my flyaways and pressing my hair out, because I want it to be nice and sleek. I want to control as much frizz as possible. Because like I mentioned, this hair is pack hair. The only thing that's actual like bundle hair is my lace closure. And I'm just going in with my small pressing iron from the Thebhslay brand. Y'all know the vibes, okay? I could have used my big one for this, but I was like, let me just go in with the small one. Because normally with bobs, y'all, I like to use my 2-inch flat iron tool, because it just makes more sense. Like, you know, it's for a bob. But I did go in with the small one today, and I'm just going in and pressing that hair out and barely, heavy on the barely bumping the end, okay? Barely, okay? You don't see me curling it underneath. No, I'm just flat ironing it and barely bending the end just to give it a little something, okay? So do not go in there and be curling it like you getting ready for Sunday's best. No. Barely bump it, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Barely bump it. But I'm just going in and I'm point cutting my bang just to make sure it's nice. And, I don't like it straight across, but I like it a little, you know. But now I'm just going in with my flat iron on this side as well and just pressing the comb, the flat iron through the hair and using the chase comb method, which is you place your comb, then you place your iron, and it gets all the kinks out, all the flyaways, everything, just a nice and sleek press. So yes, the bob is giving everything it should plus more, super cute. Now normally I used to go in and conceal my part, but I did not want to do that today. I just wanted to keep it as natural, even though it's not a natural color at all, but as natural as possible. I didn't want to go in with the black, the brown concealer and do the dark part and all that. No, I just wanted to leave it as is. I already put the foundation underneath the closure, which is natural enough for me. And here is the finishing look. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. This is one color of many, y'all. I'm doing this color series for y'all. I promise you, I'm on y'all neck with this one, okay? And I'm gonna give y'all a 360 just so y'all can see how I was able to, even it up as much as I could in the back, okay? So it ain't perfect, but it's good enough that I don't walk around looking like a crazy person, okay? So make sure you like, comment, share this video with somebody else. Like, let me know down in the comments how y'all feeling about this look and this color, because honey, she is giving black unicorn, fairy godmother, all that and above. So thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all turn on y'all bell, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. All right, make sure y'all shop the brand, the Thebhslay. See y'all on the next video.